1. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, let's cut through the bullshit. Organic, whole food, plant-based stuff, like all of the shit we see in Healthy Options or Erwan or Whole Foods, is a multi-billion-dollar growing segment among rich and upper middle class individuals like the Karens of the world who enjoy their summer mangoes and avocado toast after doing yoga. But the challenge is that these things remain quite expensive and ultimately out of reach for majority of individuals who aren't in like a developed country or who actually have to, work to be able to afford food. And we think that the vegan movement, which is a function of all of these people as a collective, and these individual persons who comprise that movement have this innate desire within themselves to be able to make this change into the world and to be able to help individuals. This is exactly where the opportunity comes to be able to make a particular choice and grow the whole pie or the whole movement when you allow people to be able to partake of these different alternatives, which are ultimately healthier and better for the environment. This is an actor motion, and we think that the interest of the vegan movement as collectives and as individuals is to be able to save animals and be able to reduce the net suffering on them and also be able to save the environment. Of course, there are certain personal things like health and welfare to be able to make the quality of life for these individuals better. The whole my body is a temple stuff, when they want to spread ideologies after watching Netflix's Game Changers and them telling you they're a vegan even though you didn't particularly ask. These particular people want to be able to spread the ideology, to be able to get more following, and be able to, on average, help the particular world. What do we mean by reject these lab-grown meat, right? We think that as an industry, it's largely speculative and uncertain, meaning the biggest banner statement that these industries say is, hey, we don't have farms anymore, we don't slaughter pigs. But there's a host of complexity to that particular regard, meaning there's a lot of moral and ethical uncertainty about how the fuck you get the animal cells, because it's not like you create them, or it comes from a lab, bro. We grew it in a centrifuge. There's a lot of uncertainty that happens within the corners of a lab and within the confines of that centrifuge or that incubator, wherein you claim to grow animal cells, which you eventually make as a meat product, meaning there's a lot of uncertainty if, did that come from a chicken? If it did you take care of that chicken? Or if it didn't come from a chicken, oh my God, where did that come from? What's gonna happen? That uncertainty in and of itself casts a shadow of doubt in terms of, is this really aligned with the vegan movement, as opposed to a very clear comparative, which are organic, plant-based whole foods like lentils, legumes, nuts, things that don't come from animal byproduct, which we can eat, which are safe for you, which have less chemicals, which on average don't kill particular animals, and also help the environment because there's less water and less things used in its production. Meaning, we think that it's in their interest to be able to say, nah, we'll pass, we reject the opportunity to partner with you because it might harm our optics and reputation, meaning it might damage the people who support the movement and also harm the reputation of the people in that movement who are proclaiming all of these things as a collective group and also as individuals, as opposed to being able to directly invest, which looks like a multitude of things, right? Being able to not get in the way of these particular companies, particular plant-based companies like Beyond Meat, like Corn, for instance, or like on meat, Shout out Mr. Enrico Grillo, one of my best friends, who's the marketing manager of UA&P Philippines. This speech is for you, bro. Being able to directly invest in these particular businesses and not get in their way. Because you know how the movement can say so much shit on social media? Basically, we're not gonna cancel these people. We're even willing to be able to give them more money and support. Because we understand that the vegan community as a collective, because of donations, has so much money to be able to make change. And also on an individual level, being able to tell your members and communicate, hey, this is a good product, check it out. It on average helps animals and the environment. What are the impacts of this? Because I've also been arguing in my setup and pre-oration. The first argument is being able to understand the nature of speculation, which in itself is present in lab-grown meat more than it is present in organic plant-based food, simply because one business model is quite clear, the other one, even if it's not harming animals, is questionable in terms of it being able to maybe give you fucking cancer or be able to maybe harm the environment significantly more in the processes that happen behind the walls of the lab. The second is in terms of guaranteed upside through economies of scale and the nature of an investment. Because I'd like to also note that a lot of organic, plant-based, whole food stuff taste like shit. Again, sorry my friend Enrico, they just don't taste as good. But if we're able to put in more investment through R&D there, we're going to be able to actually make that thing taste like chicken and not taste like, I don't know, an eggplant or legumes, for instance, right? We think that when you're able to put in more money here, you're able to have capital inflows from other investors, wherein these companies can even go public in the stock market or even raise particular bonds to be able to get funding from other investors to be able to grow this emerging category, which we understand is competitive. It's so competitive that by injecting more money in it, you're able to entice particular people to innovate and compete to make the quality of these products particularly better for individuals who want to eat that, to be able to help the environment and say, I'm not harming the environment, I'm not harming the animals, I'm here eating my particular plant-based meat, which actually tastes good, is organic, is good for me. And for all of these reasons, we are very proud to stand on side affirmative. Thank you.